Welcome to Realfire videos. In this video, we're going to go through how to export results from Realfire into Google Sheet files. To export from Realfire into Google Sheet files, we need to authorize Google account, one or more Google accounts with Realfire. To authorize to add a Google account to Realfire, you can click on the window menu, go to show view, and you can click on data accounts. When you click on that, it's going to come up with this particular, open up this particular dialog here. I can expand it to see a little bit more. And here, click on new Google account. It's going to come up with this particular dialog. So here, you're going to click authorize button. And when you do that, Realfire is going to open in your system default browser an authorization window from Google, authorizing one of your account to the Google, the Realfire, the OAuth configuration. And once you do that, it's gonna come back. It's gonna pop up a dialog here confirming that the authorization has been successful. So I'm gonna pause the video, go complete the authorization, and come back. Then we can continue. Okay. Okay. We have completed the authorization, and Realfire received the confirmation of the authorization, and the Google account information is said that it has been authorized successfully. You can go ahead and close that confirmation, and here you can change the name of the profile if you want to give it more meaningful for your for your information. And if it is by default, it defaults to the email of the account. If it is okay with that, you can just go and click on OK. When you do that, it's going to add this account. Keep in mind you can add multiple profiles. Sometimes you have the business accounts, or sometimes you have personal accounts. If you have your own personal dev and if you want to export from that for whatever reason, you can create you can link your personal account into that, so that you can choose whichever account that you want to export into. Okay, so once you have the data account ready, you can go and export. But before that, you can also edit, go back and change the details. Once you add them, you can of course go and reauthorize it, or you can change the name. Or sometimes what happens, even though everything is fine, but access tokens that we have created for the Google account would get expire. And when that happens, you would need to reauthorize again. And for that purpose, you're gonna come here, open the account that you want to reauthorize, and you can click on reauthorize. And when you do that, it's going to continue the same flow that you would have followed earlier. To add an account, that it's going to prompt you which account that you want to authorize with. And if you trust is the OAuth requester, in this case the Realfire, and when you authorize, it's going to come back here and show that it has been authorized successfully, and then you can dismiss the dialog, and then you can continue. Okay, so with that, now we have added a Google account. Let's see how to export data into that account. So you can choose any of the grids that we have in the Realfire, either the circle results or any of other uh, any grid that you have in Realfire. You can choose any one of them, and you can right click on them, and then you can go to export other. Here you will see the different options with the various targets and the formats. One of them would be the Gsheet. And within that Gsheet option, it's going to show all the accounts that you would have added. Right now we have just added one account, so it's showing that account. But if you have added multiple, it's going to be listing all of them. You can choose any one of them, and it's going to use that account to create a spreadsheet, to create a the Google Sheet spreadsheet, and provide the link. So for now, let's just go and choose export all records as Gsheet to the Realfire demo. And when you do that, it's going to take about 10 something seconds to export all the results. And when the export is completed, it's going to prompt this dialog with the URL and the confirmation that it has been exported. You can copy the URL if you just want to share that. You can, of course, open the URL, or if you want to see the details what has been exported, then you can click on close to dismiss the dialog. For now, let's just go to open the URL and see what it has created. So it's created the execution history. Um, all the execution history that we had, it has uploaded to that with under this particular header, and the name of the sheet, the name of the spreadsheet, the title of the spreadsheet is execution history. That's where you are. On the sheet of the name of the sheet has been updated as well to match what is the content that you are exporting. Okay, so similarly, you can go and choose selected records. In this case, it's going to export. Let's say you selected these 10 records. You can choose them, export selected records as Gsheet, or you can also select export selected columns as Gsheet. In this case, it's going to export complete all the rows, but selected columns into the Gsheet. Okay. If this one of those ways, a standard ways to export into Gsheet works for you, that's great. It's a more seamless and more straightforward way to export results into Gsheet. But however, if you do have a little bit more different needs, then you can click on export and then export other and click off this export with the different options dialog. When you do that, it's gonna copy this dialog that has different settings that you can do and all that. So you can go ahead and choose Google Sheet as the option. When you do that, it's going to show the Google account, then multiple input fields to enter various properties of the sheet. Okay. So from here, you can choose all fields, or if you want to all are recorded selected fields. Similarly, if you can even select different fields that you want to include in there. But for now, we can select all fields and all records on Google Sheet. We can leave the URL empty. It means create a new URL, create a new spreadsheet upon the export. We can say, so this is a spreadsheet title and this is sheet title. So even when creating a new spreadsheet, you can specify these two values. So they will be used to create the Excel file. And once it all the details is there, you can go and click on OK, and that's going to export the results and then come up, open the dialog. So here if you see that the spreadsheet title that we had and the sheet title and all the different columns and the rows that we had in the grid. Okay. Uh, so what if you already have, so this is great, if you want to export the data into a different new spreadsheet, but if you already have a spreadsheet, in this case, let's say this sheet I want to export into the same thing, then in this case it could go and click on export, and here select the Google Sheet, enter the URL. You can enter any spreadsheet URL, Google spreadsheet URL that you have access to. It's going to display the current title as well as uh, the sheet title from the export request. Here you can change, let's say, export execution history too. So in this case, it's gonna use the same document. It's not gonna create new. It's gonna create this additional sheet, and it's gonna output the values into that. Let's go and give it a try. So here, if you open the URL, and we had this sheet title earlier that we had communicated. So there's a new tab that it added. Okay, so that's great. It works. So that particular thing you can also use to export multiple SOCL results into one Excel file. For example, let's say I'm querying account, contact, and the case. I want to export all those three results into one Gsheet file for a sharing purpose or what have you. Let's say I can start with, the blank, the new sheet for this account. You can go and click on Realfire demo gmail.com. So it's going to create a new sheet and just going to add that particular file. Let's say I'm just going to copy that URL, go to the contact, go to same thing, select Google Sheet, enter the URL, and let that standard sheet title be for that contact. Click on OK. Then similarly do the same thing with the last grid. Select Google Sheet, enter URL, in the case it is there. Okay, so and when it shows up, you can click on open URL, and here you can see that it has added 3 different tabs: account, contact, and the case, and it includes the records corresponding to those 3 SOQL results that we had just executed. Okay, so that's about exporting to Google Sheet from Realfire. So if you have any questions or any feedback, please reach out to us at support@datasert.com. Thank you for watching.